started the show with a song from singer-songwriter RoseAnn Fino, and we will end with one too. But first, let's meet the woman. Welcome to BK Live, RoseAnn.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
So we were
Brian was in the
talking
middle.
off camera. I know you caught out me, slumped over. Sorry, Mom. So we were talking about some experience that we've had, but our guest has been ordained by some musical greats from the time that she was a child. This is since we were deep into her Wikipedia of your life. But share that story with the people.
So when I was little, my parents always would take me to concerts, like once or twice a week. Get your homework done. We're gonna go to a show.
Like up on the
Starting
shoulders.
from what age? Because this is important too.
3.
Amazing.
I think like my brother was like still in the womb. We were going to shows.
This was in the days before all of the kids you see now have those little headphones on.
Yeah. My hearing is horrible. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
They should apologize.
Yeah, they should.
Yes.
But they always put the earplugs in, and I would just like immediately pull them out.
Yeah.
But we grew up in a very like small town, so my parents were like, "This is part of your education," and they took me into the Bardavon in Poughkeepsie, and Patti Smith was playing.
Legend.
But my mom is quite a rock and roller, and she thought, I can bring my 6-year-old kid into the pit. I've got this. And I was totally like safe. I was fine. But Patti Smith saw me and immediately was saying, no, that kid's not going to stay in the pit. Pulled me up on stage, kissed me on the forehead, and I wound up spending the whole show on the stage. And
So
I was
you were
just,
like a roadie for Patti Smith.
Oh yeah, then I was hired after that. But no, and I was just like watching her, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and except for all the spitting, which I think is great, but I don't do that.
And you just took to it like a fish in water. You're just on that stage. I'm gonna own this stage. This is what I want to do. I feel like had that been me, even though I love performing, I would have been like.
Oh no, I definitely sat there terrified. I don't think I was like comfortable on stage until like 23, and I still have my moments where I'm like, this is terrible. Why do I do this every day? Do you know what I mean?
So tell us a little bit of then to 23.
So I started doing music in college. I went to Hunter College, and I started performing at open mics. I had moved here.
Yeah.
Of the high school.
Oh, you went to Hunter High School?
I went to the high school, yeah.
Yeah, they're a great school. I had such a great time there, and I had great professors, and they really pushed me to do open mics. And then I made an album upstate, and since then it's just been continuous. Keep playing.
So Patti Smith is one part of the bookend of that journey, but you also had a run-in with another guy that one or two of our viewers might know.
Professor Louis from the Chromatics, he did my first album, my full-length album, which he did some stuff with the band.
Yeah.
So upstate, he's royalty.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves the band.
So what's the transition then from upstate to being like this Brooklyn rocker girl, singer, songwriter with the guitar? Like you had this musical education that your parents provided, but what'd you get shored up with when you moved downstate?
I think when I moved down here, it was just about confidence more than anything. Upstate, I could be mousy and kind of like always be quiet, and I would just play once in a while, but there wasn't really even a lot of like open mics or venues. And here it pushed me. I moved here when I was 17, so it pushed me to be a little bit more outgoing. Like no one's gonna just push you on stage, you gotta push yourself. And I think that's what New York taught me, is just to be a little bit louder, a little bit more punk, make sure you can get things done.
Yeah.
Speaking of being louder, tell us about the monthly show of Resistance.
So every month, I host a show. It's Not My President, a monthly show of resistance. When I got back from the Women's March, we started it. And actually, the first show was in Brooklyn at Legion Bar in February. And it's been great. I started it because I didn't want the Women's March to just be a photo op. Like, here I am, I'm a feminist. But instead to focus on how to be inclusive and how to cover all these other nonprofits that I feel like, I can't personally donate to them every month, but when I get these groups of people together, every month $10 isn't really that much. And so all my friends come out, people that I don't even know come out, and we raise money. We've done money for the ACLU, Care New York, the National Center for Transgender Equality, Border Angels. It's just been great. And so many people have been turning out, and so many people have been helping me put on these shows, which I didn't really expect. I kind of just did it because I wanted to feel useful.
Right.
So it's been really like a nice experience, and it's brought me into so many other people's lives that I wouldn't have met before.
So for every person who sat on their couch saying, well, what are they going to do? What's going to happen?
Right.
put that in your pipes.
Exactly.
So there are people who continue to do the work now.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
And there's a lot of people, you know, even people that can't, you know, in New York, I think it's so hard because you have to work to just make rent. You can't be at every protest, you can't be at every rally, but you see people getting very inventive to make a change, and that has been so great to see.
Does any of that bleed over into your music?
I think it does. I do a lot of political covers, and the song I'm going to play for you today is actually, it's a newer song. It's going to kind of debut today. It isn't recorded.
We'll take it.
But yeah, that's sort of probably my most political song at this point.
What's the story behind it?
I started writing it a few years ago when Trayvon Martin was murdered. Just trying to wrap my head around things, but without, you know, it was hard to find my voice in that situation. And then I finished it actually after the Pulse tragedy. And just like, it's just about the violence, I think, that is in our culture, and the gun violence and the police violence, and how it doesn't seem to be changing. And we can keep acting surprised. And the media, the mainstream media especially, you know, the way that they treat it, it's aggravating. So I wrote this song to just kind of make sense of it for myself a little bit and to put out a little bit of a message.
Sadly, you keep getting fed material. The hits
Right.
keep coming. So I'm going to ask you for the title of the song before you go over. Then we'll let you make your way to your musical corner.
The song's called Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you for joining us. Tune in tomorrow, and here's RoseAnn. Take it away.
The lights go down. The air is cool. We glance around. Till the actress speaks, no one feels safe and sound. And now it's nightclubs too. Just when we were getting used to it being churches and schools. Another venue hate seeped into. And if you're not tired of the news, and if you think there's really nothing we can do, then how can we ever get closer to free? And I've got this friend who no longer walks with his headphones in. So when a cop says stop, you better stop quick. And he's turned to his religion. He didn't know what else to do. The nation turns its back on its murdered black youth. And if you're not tired of the news, and if you think there's really nothing we can do, then how can we ever get closer to free? And if you're so scared of your fellow man, you always keep a pistol by your right hand, then don't say that you're sorry when another kid dies. So should we lose our lives so you can have this right to keep your tools of rage while the families cry? And the TV projects hate. News reporters shocked, but they won't say their names. Everyone's surprised, but nothing's changed. And if you're not tired of the news, and if you think there's really nothing we can do, then how can we ever get close scared